they asked for a lot of officers to work this large event, a 420 event. They needed extra cops to work this, and I was like, I don't know that I want to sign up for it to work overtime. But then they said there was going to be some snacks and shit, and I was like, that's me right there. So I get there to work this thing. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's already 10,000 people on the field, and it was just a cloud of smoke. What I didn't realize is you could get a contact high. More importantly, I didn't realize is if I get a contact high, I become Mexican Tickle Me Elmo. I was in the crowd for too long. Dispatch started calling me on the radio. Vinny, can we get a status in you in there?
Son of a bitch. Everyone take me to Taco Bell right now.
There's a lady, she's at the pickup, so I walk down to the pickup counter. I'm like, hi, how can I help you? She's like, hi, my name is Ethel England, 12/17/63. I'm here to pick up insulin. It's in the refrigerator. You do know what that's for. I was like, yeah, that's kind of how I got the job, bitch. I walk over to the refrigerator. Her stuff was at the bottom. I'm looking, this lady had 20 boxes of insulin. I'm like, damn, she got diabetes type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Shit. I grab all of her insulin. I put it on the counter. She's like, hi, are you new? I said, yes. She goes, ooh, you're fine. Tall, dark, and handsome. Pharmacists make good money. I sure could use me a sugar daddy. I said, ma'am, looking at all this insulin here? I don't think your body can handle any more sugar.
But I had a charge nurse one time say my favorite thing a nurse has ever said to me. So I had a mustache at the time, and I walk in with a patient, and she just looks at me, she goes, that's a bullshit mustache. I'm like, catching strays, walking in the hospital. It's like, can we do the patient thing first, or? But then I gave her a once over, and I went, yours too, what are we talking about? Like, I'm not taking shit from a lady with a mustache. That's not on the bingo card for the day, you know? And then she said my favorite thing a nurse has ever said is she leaned over the counter and she just went, you know what they say about girls with mustaches, right? And I was like, oh shit, what do they say? And she just goes, we got good Nobody's ever said that. You can't be out here making up your own stereotypes. That's not how stereotypes work, you know? And it's not true. It's not true. Okay, hey, Disney's down the street. Get your minds out of the gutter. I don't know for sure, but I think it's just math. Like, if you can't take care of one lip, you can't take care of two. That's just math. There we go.
I never saw combat. And that's the thing. People ask me all the time, they're like, yo, man, you ever see anything crazy in the military? I'm like, hell yeah, man. All my friends' penises. Straight up. I was like, the only thing I was fighting in the military was my sexuality. All right, guys? Like, they don't tell you about that. You want to talk about a 20-year war, you're not sure if you won. That's mine, okay? Yeah, I love it. Some of you guys, some of the veterans in here definitely, I know for a fact, are thinking about their best friend's penis right now. Isn't that unfortunate? You know? And that's like your best friend. Some of you, if you're active, you probably saw a penis that's not yours recently. Isn't that crazy? You know? I like that because it makes me think at some point tonight you guys are going to call up that friend and be like, hey, man, I was just thinking about you tonight. You know? They're going to be like, dude, Mike, I haven't heard from you in years, man. What made you think about me? And you're like, shut the f*** up. All right? Don't worry about it. I just love you a lot, you know?
I love all my emergency services people, you know. We had some sort of unspoken agreements, like don't say nothing around the dispatchers unless you want the whole county to hear it, you know. Or, the sheriff's deputy, he wouldn't stop me if he saw me doing 10 over going down Highway 70. And in exchange, after he was done shooting radar on the highway, I let him come blow up our commode at the fire department. I tell you, a man on a diet of nothing but Copenhagen long cut and gas station hot dogs will launch a U-boat in that thing. The medics were cool. In my county, the medics didn't have stations, so we'd let them come by for supper. And in exchange, their senior medics would look the other way for about 4 minutes while our married captain would try and hit on their rookie. I was like, all right, Jake, quit. And man, I was a new fireman when that whole bath salts thing was happening. We rode into the hospital a lot on that. So we'd help the nurses and we would wrestle the difficult patients and all sorts of things like that. And in exchange, these nurses, bless their heart, they'd all take turns being in 4-year toxic relationships with us. It was the greatest thing you ever seen. I don't know what TLC was talking about in that song. I want me some scrubs,
Craziest call I ever had was a loud noise complaint. I look at my computer, details of the call say it's an orgy in progress. I didn't misspeak. An orgy in progress. I guess they had their drapes open and the whole neighborhood was calling. Again, I'm 22, 23 years old at the time, an orgy in progress. I'm excited. I'm thinking young girls pulling their hair, tickle fights. I don't know what they do with these things. We pull in the subdivision. It's Sunny Slope Retirement Center. And I'll just say this without getting too graphic. Gravity had taken full effect. It looked like a litter of Shar-Peis. There was a woman's bra on the ground. There were boobs in it.
People ask me why I would leave police work in order to become a stand-up comedian. Well, the reason is very noble. Back in 2008, I worked narcotics, and that year I earned $3.6 million. Cash. People ask me all the time, they go, hey man, when cops confiscate marijuana, do you guys burn it? Yep. A little bit at a time. That explains the donuts.